Everybody, clearing. Okay, so we're gonna just dive right in and do a check-in to see what my viewers need to see. The first two decks are going to be what's going on in the energy of the connection. Then I'm going to do feminines, masculines, and then the Starseed Oracle to tie in what we see for the feminine and masculine. But let's look at the energy at large for the connections at this time, the counterparts, the heart space, about the connections, and for our specific counterpart. What are the manifestations that that are accessible now for the collective, independently and together? Actions that can be taken independently and towards the connections. What is the biggest challenge at this time, and what is the spirit guided solution for that challenge? Also, what is going to happen in the next 3 weeks or so? What will the energies be doing next? So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What is it we can see for the beautiful collective that joins me here? Okay. Okay, connections for the collective. Wow, letting it sink in. This is a Two of Flames, a Twin Flames card. So this knowing. Yesterday's Divine Feminine reading was a big call to action to just completely surrender, hanging on through stress to any person, place, or thing that is in our lives, and just letting go of stress, letting go of the idea that we have to be stressed in a connection, and letting it sink in that what is meant to be will find a way. We don't have to name it something. We don't have to force it to be there. It can just be what is there when we're not trying so hard. That doesn't mean we aren't going to follow intuitive guidance or that we should be passive with the things that we are asked to do in our own right. But that does have the energy of letting it sink into the level of just knowing, not guessing, not, scrambling to figure it out, being still, knowing it, knowing the truth. Everything that you're drawn to right now is relevant to you, and the things that you're most drawn to offer the most opportunity for growth. Depending on how you need that growth, it will vary why you're drawn to something. But right now, be still and know what you are drawn to. How are the feminines experiencing this? Anxiety is being released because there is more of a first-person knowledge of what it is that you actually feel good about looking at, focusing on. It's less about that external right and wrong, less about some mysterious woo-woo kind of external fated versus destined connection, and really dropping into the knowing feminines. How about the masculines? 9 of Cups, they've never been more sure that their feminine is who they want. So there is anxiety being let go of for the feminines, because the feminines are really understanding the frequency of their knowing. And as that is coming into balance, first person for the feminines, there's a mirrored energy where the masculines are deeply, deeply desiring their feminine. Their heart is wishing for their feminine even more. What does this mean for the connections? Portals, possibilities, and options. So, the timing of these connection readings that I'm doing, we have a collective that is varied. People are coming into unions all the time. So if your timeline, if you've been watching this for a long time and you just don't think that every time these messages of union and spontaneous connection come up, that it's not your turn, or that these readings aren't true because you're not seeing that. Many, many twins are, and it will be your turn. Many, many counterparts, many, many romantic partners are experiencing these things, and it does come in peaks. And so you may or may not be experiencing that in your connection, but just stay with the messages. If it's not directly related to union energies coming in, just know when these kinds of messages show up that a group of people are at that ripe stage where things are coming in. Likewise, if the messages aren't talking about imminent union and somebody comes in for you right then when you least expect it, it doesn't mean that that isn't your person. That's actually more often the case than connections coming in when the energies predict that it will. Usually when those energies are predicting it will, those are breakthroughs in healing, breaking patterns, not necessarily direct romantic like proposals or moving in together or increased communication or breaking silence. Those things coincide when you least expect it, is what I'm noticing. And then when the energies do talk about progress, it's these major first person aha moments and sovereign motions for union within. So right now we're really looking at this knowing within, and that it's causing some portals, possibilities, and options to sort of materialize out of nowhere when you least expect it. This anxiety in the inverse for the feminine seems to be one of those when you least expect it kind of things. As the anxiety is dropping off, the masculines are feeling the pull. There is something brewing, though. There is an angle that maybe neither see right now. What I'm getting is that each are really having a recognition of the other right now, and that's mutually bringing in some kind of shared alignment for the majority watching. What can we see for the connections? What is in the energy? So again, I'm doing this reading for the energy of the collective and then specifically how each are experiencing it. So about the connections, we have more of a generalized knowing. For the counterpart specifically, we have a consciousness that this person could be more than just a one-night stand, lust, ghosting. This is my card of the player. In the inverse, it's growing towards monogamy, growing towards the King of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. And so there is an enlightenment with the Sun here that this particular person checks off more boxes than just a temporary fling. This is somebody that you could go the distance with, that you could be attracted to for the long term. Mind, body, soul. There's a real awareness that this person has more than just good looks, more than just a physical appeal, that there's something else going on here. This is also in alignment with humanity deepening beyond just survival or animal instinct with relationships. This is where we are bringing more of a norm in to find truly compatible connection on a soul level. The Sun, soul. And so this is an energetically enlightened understanding about this person. It's a soul connection. Feminines. Six of Swords. So there's progress out of the objectification templates. So you are starting to see your soul value, your soul radiance, and that is being inspired by this recognition that you are more than your body, more than your appearance, more than your pheromones even. This is a spiritual recognition. How about the masculines? Four of Swords. So this is what is separating, same card here with this twin flame card in the beginning. This is what is separating the masculine's awareness, why they are wishing for their feminine beyond just the physical. This is like apples to oranges. rather than apples to apples, the interchangeable objectification where one pretty feminine is interchanged for another pretty feminine. This is setting you apart. The masculines are recognizing that you have something different than the average feminine that they have experienced. Your mental progress, your paradigm shift, the way you conduct yourself, your smooth energy. You are not somebody that's a drama monger. That's what I just heard. And so they are really understanding that that kind of mastery is not common. It's not easy. They're at the 4 of Swords to your 6 of Swords. And so they're starting to see that in order to put their emotional ducks in a row, they have to really be composed to do that. And they're seeing you as having gotten to the 6 where you're making real progress. And so that is actually causing them to see that this is more than. I'm actually hearing that they have recently realized, masculines, you've recently realized that your feminine is somebody extraordinary for their way about them. That's going to differ. The aha moments are going to differ for everybody, but the masculines have had a recognition recently where they feel like the lucky one, that they're connected with you, divine feminines. What is the card for the connections? Self-sustaining systems, fluidity and abundance, 44. So angelic influence here, Metatron influence. For the feminines and masculines, both are taking care of their own emotional balance, which is bringing in more of a potential for fluidity between the two, not so much petty drama between the two. And now you can get on to team working abundance because there isn't so much uncertainty or insecurity in the connections. This is something that could go the distance. And so these are on the thoughts of the counterparts, really seeing each other in these ways, balancing out, self-soothing, self-directed, self-focused, progressive. It's more than just less. There is something workable here, beyond the norm, beyond what everyone's been seeing typically. What is the energy on the heart space? Reflection about divine feminine embodiment. So this is also about physical appeal because we're talking about chemistry and lust and attraction, and that this connection is being revealed to be much more. This could be considered a card about purely physical. That's not how I typically read this, but in the energy like this, we're in hermit mode deliberation about the physical attraction being superseded by the soul radiance, the character, integrity, soul beauty radiating through, exceeding the physical, that it's this soul quality that is part of the destined path, the star path of destiny, the true life force energy and radiance from each counterpart is being seen as more beautiful even than the physical aspects. There is a vulnerability and a transparency being seen through this meditation, through the energies that are affecting the counterparts. There's more of a recognition of the soul stuff. How are the feminines experiencing this? You're good on your own, feminines. 9 of Coins. This is that Empress in the garden, the lady in waiting. This is the Empress knowing their value. Masculines, how are they experience the Hanged One? They're getting epiphanies about how whole and balanced and real the feminine is and about what they really want. It's becoming more crystallized. And as the masculines see what real love is, what they really want, what they feel they truly deserve, they are aware of you, feminine, in this much more than just a pretty face kind of energy. Peace, healing, gentleness, and non-judgment. Yeah, this hermit energy is a very peaceful, aware, observation kind of energy. It's not judgmental. It's not shallow. It's deep. There's a deep recognition here on the heart space. What is the heart space for each counterpart? What is in the energy? Missed opportunities and now ascension. So a soul connection can't really come together in a lower vibrational stage of development. It won't be satiated by that. And so there has to be ascension, there has to be growth, there has to be coming up into the energetic affirmation, acknowledgement of the connection, or I just heard it festers. It doesn't thrive. It chokes out in the lower vibrational things because that radiance can't be seen. And so any of the missed opportunities in the past weren't missed entirely. They were just not able to come together because things needed to ascend to a higher vantage point. Had to come up and out of the survival template relationships and into something more soul honoring. What is the feminine? Ace of Cups, unconditional love. So feminines really had to get to a place where they just want love, drama-free, lame energy-free love, and not willing to put up with or settle for or convince themselves they deserve anything less than real love. They'd rather be alone than with anything fake. What are the masculines coming to the awareness of? Queen of Swords. So this is a sharp contrast. As they're ascending, they are now seeing that they have thought of karmic feminine energy that was very outspoken, very cutting, very deliberate, very opinionated, big personality kind of energy. They mistook that for divine and self-empowered, but it is a show of insecurity. They're seeing that. They're seeing the subtle grace and the true radiance of the divine feminine in contrast to karmic feminine energy right now. And they're being able to tell the difference from a new ascended look at what they actually see as fruitful in relationship, what they see as abundant. What can we see for the connections? Yeah, because the feminines have been exemplifying unconditional love, not this bitchy, bratty, condescending, convincing, competitive, karmic feminine energy. Reconfiguration, cycles, and gratitude. So things are changing around. We are seeing this flip-flop from missed opportunity to ascended first real shot at it, and leaving all the things that both counterparts thought should be productive in the past, those karmic scenarios, leaving those in the past. So it's a reconfiguration. It's a flipping of those previous karmic situations in favor of true connection. On the heart space, there is a knowing. We started with this intuitive knowing, and we're seeing this heart-centered knowing now that these have been time capsules. And if this isn't going to be a returned counterpart, new people coming in. So not everybody watching this will be reconnecting with someone. This is an acknowledgement that each individual watching this is going higher for true connection. Some will come into union with the one that they have been watching this for. Some will release that, and somebody that they've known in the past will come in and align when you align. And some will start fresh, and a new person will come in and off to the races. There's no right or wrong with that. It's all different for everybody, but love is what counts. Mutuality is what counts. And so if your heart is focused on a particular person, allow yourself to understand that process, and don't try and, convince yourself or resist that that's the person that you're being asked to focus on energetically right now. Because whether that's going to be your forever person or not, that's the person your heart is indicating you have the most lessons with at this time. When it becomes mutual, there will be no question about what to do. It will be time to come into union. But if that's not happening and your focus is with a particular person as a priority, stick with that and learn what you need to from it. In time, you'll see if that brings you closer or not. If you're doing the work and that person is your true counterpart, you will see progress. What can we see for the manifestations? Yes, utilizing our free will to go for what we want. So in the Twin Collective, we're literally seeing that we don't have to cut corners, sell ourselves short, play dirty, cheat, lie. We have to be accountable, and we have to put in the work. We have to stay the course. We have to manifest what we want. We're the one manifesting our reality. This is the wishes card. I love this card because it always comes out in the wish manifestation spot. But this is taking matters into our own hands. We have to know ourselves well enough to know what we want. And when we know what we want, we have to manifest it. We have to go for it. We have to appreciate it so that we can be accountable and entrusted with more of the same. That's the key. You manifest your reality. The quickest, best feeling way is through gratitude. And so when you are grateful, when you know yourself well enough to know specifically what you'd be grateful for, then you can see it when it shows up and appreciate it more and more. It will grow. What can we see for the feminines? Four of Wands union. So yes, you deserve the 11-11 union. You deserve the life of your dreams. You deserve this. Go for it. Manifest it. When you see things that are in alignment with it, be in gratitude for that. Don't resist that. Don't downplay it. Don't hide that away. Own it. Love it. Be it. Live it. Embody it. Celebrate it. Work for it. Do what's required for you to bring yourself into alignment with it. Be the version of you that you would ideally like to see and would feel like somebody would choose. Keep becoming the person you're most in celebration of. What do the masculines need to see here? Knight of Cups. Yeah. So masculines are getting the nudge here to go for what they want and offer love, to speak. Some will apologize, some will reconnect, some will express their feelings if they haven't, some will deepen their desires for the future. This is communication. The Knight and Pages are communication. The Knights hold a little bit more communication than the Pages do. We've got a Knight here showing up to communicate on a more emotional manifestation level. So this is the sincerity. The masculines want to express what they actually want to see going forward. There's a unicorn here, and so this might be radical stuff they haven't really told anybody but you, feminines. This is a side of them they don't show to anyone except their chosen partner, is what I just heard. The one that they are emotionally available to. This is the rare stuff that they're just going to be telling their counterpart. I'm hearing, what do they have to lose? You're their person. What is the energy card? Luminosity, empowerment, and forward motion. Yeah, there is forward motion here because both are realizing life is short and they have to go for what really makes their heart sing. So it looks like masculines are a little bit on the same page here. And the feminines, they're holding steady, and masculines are coming in with a little bit more right now. That's beautiful. I'm being also drawn to the labyrinth here. So masculines, you may have felt like it's been quite a maze to get to where you're at. I just heard, no, the divine feminines are amazing. So cute. So yeah, so I feel like the masculines want to express that they really do think you are different than those karmic feminine energies, and that it's just a matter of time before they tell you how you are set apart in their mind regarding people from their past. This is an empowered acknowledgement that I'm seeing is going to promote more light shed on this and forward motion. Okay, what can we see for the actions? Leaving the past in the past and moving forward in the physical. So this abandonment wound, it's like the counterparts are going to be coming together in the 3D. This can be working together. This can be physical realm logistics, but this abandonment stuff is being left in the past. So we're coming together anyways, even if we're not fully healed, fully stabilized, fully in the awareness of what can happen next. It's like the Ace of Swords will be taken from this 10 because it reduces back to the 1, and that truth will come in time. But there is an acknowledgement that there's more of a 3D material realm connectivity here. How is that happening for the feminines? 3 of Wands, you're keeping an open mind about what it needs to look like. So it's not so much just lovers or romantic or sexual anymore. It's now teamwork in the physical on whatever level that needs to be. And feminines, there is a recognition that you would rather know this person, be friends with this person, than not. And so there is an openness, an unconditional love coming in, where you could see yourself being more closely linked in the physical without expectation. And the masculines, the Emperor. So this is a beautiful stoic card. I'm getting a very stoic energy here, that the emperors are keeping their emotions not necessarily under wraps, but in check. And so it's not that they don't have deep, deep love for you, feminines. They just don't want to be unstable. And so they are going to be coming forward more in the 3D in bite-sized pieces, so it doesn't come off as too much. They want to be your rock. And so they want to set a foundation that's on bedrock. They don't want a faulty foundation coming in. They may start off, so we've been getting a lot of friendship vibes, and now this is a work vibe. 3 of Pentacles is a putting in the work kind of energy. And so they are open to seeing how the two of you could work together, what those factors would look like. What is the Starseed Oracle card? Spiritual sovereignty, astral travel, and timelessness. Galactic Council crest. So there is a bigger, more galactic, cosmic energy necessity bringing counterparts together because of the keen intellect and the compassionate hearts. And so this spiritual sovereignty is being established. That's why the romance, the sexual connection hasn't been focused on here. We've got the friendship coming in and then the teamwork energy, and that's to keep the spiritual sovereignty in check so that it isn't prematurely lost in lust. What can we see for the biggest challenge in the energy at this time? Heartache from the past and you know, this feeling that it's not quite time to be full-on victorious public awareness. There's still a bit of a down low becoming, safeguarding, protection, because it's still a tender process, because the romantic relationship aspects haven't been fully settled. We've got the friendship coming in over the last while. Now we've got some teamwork stuff. This is still tender. This is the challenge, is because it hasn't been established in the way that a truly grounded whole relationship needs to be to weather any storm. There's still this developmental stage What are the feminines? Yeah, this separation, but the 5D. So there's an inclusion of the energetic stuff that needs a little bit of a transition time. As these connections come in, it needs to be, I'm hearing gentle in the energy, so it doesn't go from nothing to all. There has to be a getting to know each other without the layers that confuse or overwhelm. It's like one layer of merge at a time. When these deepening reconnections come in more and more, there's going to be more of a getting to know each other objectively on a deeper level that actually justifies the intimacy. You know, like makeup sex, as an analogy, can prematurely not fix a problem at all, but band-aid over the energy. That's the kind of thing I'm seeing here, is that these true foundational steps need to be established in order for the long-term success. And so that's the biggest challenge, is that feminines are feeling like they want to be everything with the masculines, but feminines, settle down, because you want long-term success. You don't just want a band-aid. You want to really come together and hold unconditional love and healing. You've done a lot on your own, and now it's starting to become time to do it together in the ways that you can only do together, but there's still a process. And even if that's not regarding things that have happened directly in your connection, it's a human condition. It's a societal and contemporary kind of clearing, ancestral clearing. So many factors that there can be a new consensus regarding. Masculines, the sun. So you don't know what you don't know. And that's part of the challenge here, is that typically when connections come together, there is a short-sighted, premature celebration, and some things haven't been worked out yet. And yeah, you don't know all the answers, but you're feeling pulled to come in. So that's beautiful. Simultaneity, nonlinear processing, and epiphanies. So this is the time to come together and have conversations, to really have heart-to-hearts, to show each other what's going on in each perspective at this time. That said, dimensional planes of perception number 8, which 8 is an eternal, the infinity loop. And so there is more of a big picture expression that both are needing to share with the other about their lives. A lot of these counterparts don't know the history, the backstory of the person that they are watching this for. A lot of connections don't have a fully in the light connection for whatever reason, a history where friends and family know about these connections. And so there is this process of hearing each other, understanding each other, seeing through the other perspective, and sharing. That's the challenge, though, is many haven't been able to do that. And if they have, it's been in the old energy where there's so much karma heaped onto it that there's had to be a separation to clear that and to heal and process, so that the counterparts can come forward in a new up-leveled way that can actually have success. What is the solution here? There's the card of Hangman Epiphanies with the anxiety going away again. So Hanged One energy is when it seems to pause, but we're having these breakthroughs. So these connections are going to come in as each anxiety is released, and there's a breakthrough about why those anxieties are there, or why those anxieties come from uncertainty or karma or insecurity or lack of healing or broken patterns that don't serve. Every time this simultaneity, this nonlinear processing, this simultaneous epiphany happens, the anxiety is going to be released. So it's essential that the counterparts cross these bridges together and release the anxieties. So if there are any insecurities, anxieties, concerns, patterns that one or the other don't want to repeat, it's important to look at them together and to get these epiphanies and to only progress when each of the anxieties is released. And so this won't move forward. There will be a pause in the energy that is a grace period in order to release each of these uncertainties. It's not about coming together and pretending those uncertainties aren't there or trusting it's going to be okay. Wishful thinking is not going to serve anybody. This is literally looking at the concerns, airing them, releasing them, and letting go of that anxiety and stress in the connections. Yesterday, the messages came out very dominantly that the feminines were to let go of all stress and not desire to cling to a relationship that has stress of some sort. And now we're literally seeing what happens when the feminines and masculines let go of thinking that stress is a normal part of relationships. We're seeing now that systematically each of the stress points can be addressed and released. And that's the phase, that's the cycle we're in, is releasing the stress points. How beautiful. Feminines, what is it? Strength, humility, knowing the devil energies are going to be overcome. That the cycles of hell, of turmoil, of infidelity, of hot and cold, ghosting, flimsy energy is going to be released. What for the masculines? Two of Cups. Yeah, there's this deep heart-centered focus on true love for the masculines and learning what that is. Not desiring that competition anymore within connection, but really wanting to get to the heart of things. Masculines are sincerely now, earnestly now, looking at if they can uncover the love here by staying open, staying emotionally available to tackle this stuff, because they actually now, I'm hearing, have deemed you, feminine, as somebody who's not trying to generate that. And so if they feel it there anywhere, they know it's not a given. It doesn't have to be in your dynamic because they now know your character. Wow, so that's beautiful. What can we see? Joy, playfulness, and pleasure. Heart of the Pentagon, right? So joy is the name of the game here. Anxiety can be released then, because this is the ultimate benefit of the doubt. Masculines and feminines. Feminines, you're believing that this can rise up, and masculines, you now know that you want your feminine to be the person that you overcome the stress with, that there isn't actually stress between the two of you. It's paradigms and faulty systems, that operating programs that don't need to be there. So yeah, it's teamwork time to get rid of the faulty operating programs in relationships and to work on that together, to identify it as teams here. What is the motion forward? Ending the burden by precision thinking, protecting the connection by looking at things with neutrality, with the agenda to end burden together. How are the feminines experiencing that? The Chariot. Really willing to put down all of the past in the name of progress, feminines. Do that heart work, because when you do, I'm hearing this opportunity will come in for you when you really get to that place where you actually are ready, not just emotionally or mentally, but also in your physical world. So whatever changes, whatever levels of reality need to change so that this is a total green light go, circumstances, everything, when you can begin that, it will develop beautifully and it will never stop. Masculines, ending your anxiety from resisting these connections. Yes, this is like getting ready to go all in. Beautiful. And Spine of Fire, true self, passion, motivation, and purpose. This is going to be the new motivation in the near future, is to bring these connections into alignment by literally both being transparent with what bothers them about relationships, what concerns them about this one, and agreeing on ways to affirm that it's not necessary to have any of that in a relationship with each other. I'm hearing partners in crime, but you know what I mean. Anyways, okay, many blessings, everybody. Bye for now.